What is up, YouTube? What is going on? Ah, 1 second. Do that. Still don't understand why my thumbnails are not connecting. There we go. Alright. We good now. Going live on WAP.com right now. What is up, everybody? What is going on? We are back with another TSD live stream, Top Sports Debate live stream, and just in general live stream over on my YouTube channel at Bet at Your Own Risk. That is at Bet at Your Own Risk. If you are over on YouTube, type in Top Sports Debate on WAP.com, and or you can now officially give me 1 second because I didn't come prepared. Didn't come prepared here. You can officially. Give me 1 second. Okay, sound is good, but you can officially now join us through my my link here that I posted on my YouTube channel. But we're back. Excuse me. Hope you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well today. We're back with another stream to look over some NBA live reads for tonight. I think there are 9 games tonight, and I'm using Prop Finder to dive into the stuff. But again, if you're over on YouTube, you can click that link to subscribe to our WAP.com Discord. We do have a free section, but then we also have a paid section that will pretty much take you to the paid spot. Use the link there to join us. As pertaining to last night, I want to say it was a bit of a down night. Nothing really connected for the most part. Collins got 50. He took him for 15 points because he was in a spot, and he cashed for 17. I did mention about Lonzo LaMelo Ball for a parlay for 4 assists and his 3-pointers. He 4 threes and his assists. He got the assists. I think he finished with a double-double. I can't remember, but he definitely had above the mark. He just didn't finish with 4 threes. I think he finished like 3 and 10. He was shooting a lot though. He finished with 14. He just couldn't find the bucket that you were hoping for, because I did talk about if you parlayed that, because he was in a spot on a Tuesday, he would have cash for you, but he almost did. But if you took him just for his assists, just the basis off of that, you cashed. Brandon Miller for 25 points. If you took that on a straight bet per that parlay that I sent out last night, that also would have cashed on a single bet, but the parlay itself did not cash. So what can you do? And for my MLB slips, nothing cashed for the MLB. Actually, something did cash, but I fell asleep. I didn't have time. I was dozing off when I was putting something together. So yeah, I did have something that did cash, but I just forgot to send it in. So missed opportunity for everybody, but hopefully that won't happen tonight. Looking at Amen Thompson for potential. Let me look at his PRA here. Because like for Houston specifically, like you kind of want to, just in general, just for Houston, where are you here? You want to look at, you can still consider KD for points, his PRA. Jabari Smith, you could for when I look at Jabari, I look at him for his threes a little bit more than anything else, because he potentially is usually in spots where he can hit threes at plus value. Earlier in the year, his 3-pointer literally was 1.5. So now that that's 3, still at plus value, because when it was 1.5, it was still plus value, right? So now it's sitting at 3 because it looks like he's taking more shots. So he's potential to hit 3. They're allowing 3 to the Bucks are allowing 3 to the position. Still just shy of 3, 2.4 in the last 5, but they are still struggling to guard the position, right? He had back-to-back days where he had 3 recently. Where he hit 3. Apologies. But just in general, in the last 20, he has not had 3 straight. Excuse me. 3 straight days where he's hit 3 threes or more. Even on a Wednesday, he hasn't either. So maybe you don't take him for threes tonight, but maybe you consider him for his PRA. Maybe his points. What is his points? 16. Let's see. Head wise, okay. 1-0 on the year. He had 16 on the nose on November 9th. What is he doing on a Wednesday? More recently, he's been scoring, averaging 15. Usually in and around 16. Now, they're only allowing 15, just shy of 16. Maybe he'll get 16 points tonight. Maybe, potential. But again, this is on a Wednesday. Now, just in general, last 5, he's 3-2 to getting. He's usually getting higher than the 16, getting 20 or higher. Let me look at that. Let me see. What are the logs saying for who they've matched up against? Collins had 22. Remember, talked about that from yesterday's stream. He cash modestly got 22. Grant had 18. Because Jabari, to me, he, as you see here, he definitely scores higher than 10 points. Some of these cats on this list are not cats that go out here and consistently score higher than 10. So as far as the actual names, the cats are actually getting out the ground. They're getting buckets. They're getting the 16. So it's a good look. You're just hopeful that because of the day, more recently, because he's been actually getting some buckets, that he'll get 16 points for the 3rd straight Wednesday. Him at home, still averaging 18, 17.6 in the last 10, 18 in the last 5. He did have back-to-back where he went under. So he went under on the last day of the month. This is what he's doing at home on a Wednesday. And on the season, averaging 13.7. 2 and 3 in the last 5. Wednesdays at home, 13.4. So maybe it's a potential that he doesn't get potential that he doesn't get it, but you can do this information what you will. Now, Kevin Durant, I was supposed to take him last night for his PRA or something like that. Maybe it was points. I can't remember. I didn't do it. Forgot to do it. That was on me. Because as you see here at 41 PRA, he had 27 points. So he did his job. The question becomes, can he do it again tonight on a back-to-back, right? They're allowing 23 to the position. PRA-wise, I apologize, 36 on the season, 48 in the last 5. So he's technically back in a spot to potentially get, once again, because he's done it in 4 out of the last 5, hitting 40 or higher. Now, as you see here, he's usually hovering around 41, but you only need 34. So I would say And technically his actual line is 35, but still, I would potentially say take him up. Maybe you do still take him for the 40 plus because it's a plus 238 potential. You know what I mean? He head to head wise, he's 2-0 against them, averaging 46. Look at that, 46, my favorite number. You know what? I'm gonna cue it up. I'm gonna take it. I'm more than likely gonna straight bet this because I genuinely just like the fact that he averages 46 because it's my favorite number. So it's automatic cue up for 35 PRA tonight. Now, what is he doing on at home? Okay, he's averaging 34, but again, head to head, he's well, that was last year. Well, he's green on the season, but it's just the last 10 he's really not. Let me see. What is he doing on a Wednesday? He's averaging 31. He did have a back-to-back here. December 3rd, January 1st, he went out there and got the job done on the back-to-back. So today is a day where it can be interesting. So then now we break down Wednesdays at home. He's still down. Pretty much on the year, he's still down. He's only averaging just shy of 31. Where he only hit 35 two times. Even if you dropped it down to 34, it's still the same thing. He only hit it 2 times on a Wednesday at home. This December 3rd and then February 11th. He's technically in a spot to still get the 48. Just on the basis of what? Not the day. Just on the basis of just in general the last 5 and the head-to-head. So I would still recommend that you take it. But again, you can still be cautious. Maybe you just straight bet the 35 or the 34, whichever comes first, just in case. Because again, the day seems to be something that's more hurtful towards his PRA, just in general on the year. And if you feel like, because I always say, if you see something, you're like, oh, like, Vortex took this over. I'm looking at the data a little bit differently. I feel like he'll go under, take him for the under, swap it to the other way. You're more than likely paying a little bit extra. Or if you take him for the 34, it's the regular line at the minus 110. That way you're not having to add, say, if your bankroll is $10 per slip, you don't have to put down 5, 7, 8 extra bucks to get a profit back. You're just right here at 34, simple, taking for the under. And he goes under and he cashes. So just be mindful of that, whatever I say on the stream, you don't have to fully agree with. You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to even throw an alternative, but they are allowing, like I said, so much, plenty of stuff to the position. He's averaging 35 points against Milwaukee. So that alone, if you're just taking him for the 34 PRA or the 35 alone, he's averaging the number. So against Milwaukee, just in general. So there you have it. Let me come to this this Philly game, cause excuse me, potential blowout, not fully a spot. Washington could potentially, maybe, possibly blow out Philly. Because the NBA, you never know, right? Some random Wednesday underdog wins by 20 plus points. You just never know. But Embiid is not playing in this game tonight. Let me take Houston off real quick. Excuse me. Okay, Trey Jones is averaging, you need 13 points from him. He's averaging 15 against Philly. They're allowing 30 to the position. So let me look at his data. I've mentioned in the past that I really only look Trey Jones' way when it's pertaining to his assists. I was taking him for live bets only the beginning of the year, roughly in December. Excuse me. Again, this is before Trey Young got here. So, as you see here, his line is 1.5. He hasn't hit, because I usually would chase him for 4 assists, live bets only at like plus 300, plus 400 type of stuff. There were a few times where I literally looked at his line like it's plus 400. It's a live bet. Kind of feel like he can get 4 assists. I don't take it, and he finished with 5. You know what I mean? So it's like, dag, what was I thinking? So, do you consider taking him for his assist tonight? So even look at that. It's a minus 225. It's super juicy. You really don't have anything to really grasp here. He did get 3 against them on January 7th. They're allowing 7 to the position on the season, 7 in the last 5, 6.6. So there's a potential that he could potentially finally get 3 assists or higher tonight against Philly. But you have to actually consider the actual lineup here, and all of that. It looks like everybody's in. Kubale, Raleigh, Vucevic, all of that. I think Vucevic he had 15 plus points last game, maybe 20 or something like that. There was somebody last night that had 20 points that I said I was gonna look at. Oh, Riley. I don't think it was last night. It was the game before. It was like 2 days ago. Remember I mentioned Riley in what, 2 streams ago, like potentially taking him for his points or something like that, and I didn't take him, and he finished with 20 points, and literally his points was only like 13, 12 or something like that. Super upset at myself. I didn't take him for his PRA, for his points. He finished with 20 points that night in that loss, if I remember, to the Lakers, I think it was. So, yeah. Against Philly, maybe you do take Raleigh for his, because let me see, it's 15. So I swear to y'all, it was lower than this. It was like 13 or 12 or something like that 2 days ago against LA. He's now averaging, now it's down. He's averaging 13 against them. They're allowing 22 to the position. Again, he had 20 here, right? So this was, let's see what his 20 is just in general. Let me see what it is. It's plus 328. So that's kind of letting me feel like he's not going to get to 20, but he might get 18 because it's a plus 208, or he might finish with 15 on the nose, plus value here, even plus value for 15. He's actually been scoring much better in the last 5, averaging 17. They're allowing 22 to the position, 19 in the last 5. So still good for him to potentially get above the 15, maybe 16, 17, maybe 18. Maybe he doesn't get the 20, but at least he gets just a little bit below it. He had 19 here on the 25th against Utah. So do with that information what you will. What is he doing at home specifically, just in general? 3 and 5 the last, so 4 and 6 the last 10, 3 and 5 the last 5, averaging 16. Wiggins was one off, because again, you're talking about 15 points, just 15. Williams had 18. Chet, Cody, Precious, and Gordon were just a bucket. 3-pointer off. Grant had 20. So it's technically, honestly, guys, technically feel like he could get 15, at least in and around the number. If he doesn't get higher than 15, he'll at least hit 15. He has no head-to-head against the squad. Let me just double check to make sure this is correct. He actually does. He's on 1. Look, he was a bucket off back in December on the 22nd, or no, excuse me, the 2nd. So, you honestly, guys, I would more than likely take him for the 15. Let me look at his PRA though. 60%. You need 22. Slight lean to the under. They're allowing 30 to the position in the last 5. You look for 22. Wiggins had 22. Williams, Chet. A lot of others are coming close to the number. So this is just letting you know that Riley has definitely a chance to get buckets and all of that. But I actually do like his points the best, because plus it's on the plus side. I'm gonna queue it up because I'm probably just gonna say screw it, take it at a straight bet. I'm just being honest. Let me see. Do you rely on, because Paul comes back from his suspension and he's been balling 3-0 with his points, averaging 24 in the last 5, 28, 26, and then 19. You only need 19 here. Let me see. They're allowing almost 23 to the position in the last 5. LeBron had 21. Denny had 20. Denny almost had a triple double last night. Wild stuff. I think he had like 10 or 11 rebounds, 20 plus points, and he had like 8 assists. So he was literally right there. Didn't even see that coming. Because he's actually been, if you've really been paying attention, he's actually been passing the ball more recently, and just in general in the last like week or so, just random, just dishing and diming. Because Drew Holiday had 30, I think it was last night. Like, I'm like, dag. Wish I would have looked his way. I didn't even look his way. You're looking at, what are we looking at here? 19. Random Blake, 21. You couldn't even put him on the slip if you even wanted to attempt to try. Maybe on a different sports book like Hard Rock or something, maybe he would have, been available for you to choose from. I think I mentioned De Silva, but he actually went under his point, something like that I was talking about him in the last game. So he did not come through. So they're at home against what's it called? They literally just announced that Franz Wagner is supposed to be back tonight. Let me just double check. Could have sworn that they said Franz is back tonight. Let me make sure this is true. Just trying to make sure that I read that right. Yeah, it says it. Orlando Magic 4, Franz Wagner is available to play Wednesday versus the Atlanta Hawks. I literally have Atlanta covering the second quarter spread, so that may lose now that Franz is back. But again, he's probably more than likely on minutes restriction, potential to come off the bench, all of that. So he may or may not affect my pick for the Hawks to cover the second quarter spread. Originally, I was going to go with the Hawks to cover the first half spread. They have a little bit of extra data towards them to cover the first half spread, but I said, you know what, I actually like the second quarter spread just a little bit more, so that's why I decided to take it. So if you want to take Paul George for his PRA, you potentially can do so. I don't think I'm going to take him. I just kind of do like the fact that he's been balling since he's been back. He's just coming out here getting it, getting buckets, getting rebounds, passing the rock, all of that. He's just been doing his thing. Well, I would say rebounds and points at least. He's doing his job. So, like he should have. You got maybe too is because he's been reading people's social media comments talking about telling him he needs to retire, blah blah blah, and he was just like, look, I still got something left in the tank, son. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Do that information what you will. So now that Franz is back, Nick did not get the 22 points last game. He finished with 17, so he had an under spot. Could he potentially bounce back tonight against the Orlando Magic on the road? Right. Let's see. He's 3-0 against Orlando on the season. He has one game where he had 19 on the nose, and that was on the beginning of the year. Literally, I think this was opening day for them against Orlando on October 24th of 2025 last year. He had 19 on the nose. But he did recently score 41 points against them at home on March 16th, just a couple of weeks ago. Now, he's still looking great per his points. They're allowing 30 to the position on the season, 39 to the position. So potentially he could still go out here and get buckets. Does this, with Franz coming back, does this affect, say, Suggs? Suggs went out there and balled a little bit too. We'll look at him in a moment. Let's look at what Nick is doing on a Wednesday. Just in general on the year, he's 5-7, but in the last 5 he's actually averaged. Oh, apologies. Yeah, Wait. What am I looking at? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Apologies. There we go. On a Wednesday, he is even 5-5, but he's 4-1 on the last 5, averaging 19.4. But when he gets the bucket, it's usually 20 plus points on a Wednesday. Now let's look at him on the road on a Wednesday. Again, on the year, even 4-4, but in the last 5 Wednesdays on the road, he's 4-1 still same spot, 19.4. So it's still technically a good spot for him. Again, you want to consider the fact that he did score 41 against them 2019, so he's 3-0 against them, 1 on the road at Orlando. So maybe he bounces back, because it's been a minute since he had back-to-back unders on his points. I'm gonna queue up his points for the 19. I just might take him for the points. I might. I do like it still. Even just in general, just the head-to-head. Kind of feel like he can go out there. I don't see him scoring 41 points, but I still could see him potentially getting 20 plus points or higher. Let me see. So, yeah. I'm going to take him for a potential look. Let me see. Jalen, like I said, Jalen came back. He had 20 points. Let me see. They're allowing 28 to the position. You need 15. But again, with Franz back, he potentially does not have to shoot the ball, but he would more than likely pass the rock, dish and dime. So because this could be a factor where he goes out there and gets 6 or higher assists, you may want to consider taking him for 7. Now, genuinely, when he does get the assists, it's usually 6. A couple times he has 7. They're allowing 9 to the position in the last 5. So just in general, let's see. So yeah, more recently they've been allowing 9. So he does have a potential to get 7 or higher. Let's look at him on a Wednesday. Now he's down on a Wednesday. Only 2 games he had 6 or higher, because again, you only need the 5.5. And then let's look at him at home. Now this is what he's done at home. 4-1 the last 5, averaging 6. He did have a couple of games where he went a bit higher than the 6. At home on a Wednesday, though, he's 2-3. Excuse me, 2-4. Apologies. Actually, apologies even more so. 1-3 on a Wednesday at home. So let me look and see who they faced off against as far as more recently. Malik Monk had 7. Derek was 1 off. Pretty much everybody else, like Derek's 1-1 against them. Technically 0-2, excuse me. Hayes had 4. Pritchard had 4. Jenkins had 10. Clayton had 6. So a lot of them are getting 4. They're usually hovering around 4 and 5. Jalen did have 5 here against them on the 16th. So 1 off. That was on the road, though. But again, if you're really paying attention to what he does at home, he's more successful at home. So maybe. Potential maybe. Just off the basis of him at home. What he does at home. Maybe. We'll see. Potential for some passing. Did Bonchero get his that I needed from him? No, that's right. Because remember on that parlay that I sent out for him to get 38 PRA. He finished with 36, so he missed it by a couple. They're giving him 38 tonight. Back-to-back 38s. Head-to-head, 4-7. 4-3. But just in general on the season, 1-2. Averaging 36 on the year against the position, 36. Okay, he actually loves playing on a Wednesday though. He's 5-3 and on the season on a Wednesday, averaging 36.4. But as you see here, when he gets it, it's pretty much the same thing from last night. Because he, as you see here, he's getting same thing, same spot. Tuesdays he was, getting 40 or higher. So same thing. Very next day he's still getting, when he gets the actual PRA, he's getting 40 or higher. So maybe tonight he gets it, but you got to factor in he's facing off against Jalen Johnson, more than likely a Kongu too. Let me just double, because I'm looking at this over on Outlier here. So Kongu and Johnson, and then whatever they got off the bench for Atlanta. So possible potential for him to go under, but maybe he still gets. I'm talking about as far as 40, but maybe he still lands on 38. So, but he's 1-2 on a Wednesday at home, averaging 33. But he had 40 here on the 11th of pretty much last month against Cleveland at home. So I'm going to cue it up. Again, potential for him to actually still go out there and at least get 38 tonight, because, again, he finished with 36 last night. Then could you potentially see Carter's been balling points-wise. See, they're allowing 20 to the position. So let me see something here. On the season, he's 2-1 against them, 11-17. That was at Atlanta, but he only had 10 here against them but again, this was the beginning of the year. What is he doing on a Wednesday? Doesn't like Wednesdays, don't like him. At home, this is what he's doing at home, 13. So even if you want to bump him up to 12, because you see here, specifically just in general at home, he's getting 13 or higher. Like, he's not just hitting 11, he's getting higher. 13.2 in the last 5. So if you feel like he can get 15, take him for the 15 plus 297 on FanDuel. But him at home on a Wednesday really doesn't like him specifically. But you 1-3 on the year. He only had 11. He hasn't really done anything on a Wednesday. But again, it may flip. He may decide to go out here and actually do something. But the reason why I brought him up is more so his double. I wanted to look at his points and stuff, but do you consider taking his double tonight? It's a plus 388. Let me see. Doesn't really say any information. Let's look at his boards. Maybe we can get a gist of anything. Okay. He likes grabbing rebounds on a Wednesday, especially if you only need 8. 6-3 in the last 9 Wednesdays, averaging 8. 3 of the last 5, he had 11 on the nose. What are they allowing to the position? They're allowing 12 in the last 5. So maybe if you don't feel like he can, I honestly, I do kind of feel like he can get the points, right? And get the double more specifically. So the only thing is, head-to-head wise, he only got 10 rebounds one time, but that was last year. He did hit 8 here on the year at home. So maybe you still take him for the 8 rebounds. It's a minus 104. I'm going to cue him up for the boards at least, because again, maybe he does get the boards. Because I actually like the spot because they're allowing so much to the position. Plenty of breathing room spot. Again, potential spot for him to actually get a double-double tonight. But Bernard had 10. Quetta, Doran, Sengun had 9. Washington had 9. Even if you're just taking them for the 8, Gafford 8, same game. Miles doesn't really grab rebounds. Now this was on the road, so finished with 3 there. So yeah, potential for him to. It's just that again he went under on the road at Atlanta. I feel like he can actually grab the boards because he got it at home against them. So I like his rebounds. I'm gonna just stick with that at least, because just in case he doesn't get the 10 points, but he gets the 8 to 9 rebounds. He doesn't get 10 rebounds. I just don't take him for the double, and he at least gets, maybe he gets 10 points, but finishes with 8 or 9 boards, and he just doesn't get the double. But again, if you feel like Carter Jr. get a double, take that plus 300 and hope for the best. But I like his rebounds. Let me see. I don't know if maybe. So Derek White, points wise, you need 17. He's averaging 19 against them. They're allowing 27 on the season to the position. Let me look at this head to head, dog. He's 2-1 on the season. He had 33 on the 19th of December, 21 on February 6th. So he technically does love playing against Miami. It's more specifically at home. What is he doing on the road? He was doing a bit better on the back half of the last 10 on the road. 2 and 3 in the last 5. They're allowing 24 to the position in the last 5. Hold on, let me look at the. Keep forgetting to look at that too. Everybody's in. Tatum's in. Brown is in. Everybody's playing. So there's potential for the game of the night tonight. So do we consider? Okay, so Derek White loves playing on the Wednesday. He's 2-0 on a Wednesday this year. He's averaging 24 points. He got 28 against Houston, and he got 20 against Denver. But that was in February. And now, again, this is what he's doing on a Wednesday on the road. So maybe when you're looking at the data, like I keep saying, if you're looking at this information like I am, you're seeing something consistent. What is he doing? He's getting 20 points or higher just in general on a Wednesday on the road most of the time. And you only need 17 from him. Maxey had 23. We're talking about the actual 17. Harden had 17 here. He had 17 here against. So back to back against them. Derek was a 3-point off. Almond had 24. Luka went off for 60. LaMelo had 30. So you're seeing a potential spot where Derek could potentially go off tonight simply because of the day. I'm going to take a chance. I'm probably going to take this on a straight bet. I might push him up to 20 because, again, at home, apologies. He did get 20 on the road. He scored 33 and 21 against them just on the face value. So maybe tonight he bounces back on the road and gets higher than this 8 points here. And he actually gets the job done. Now, again, last 10, he's been under. But just in general, face value, last 5, he was a couple of points off back here. So now he's been down for the most part, though. So I potentially just might just take the chance for him to get the 17 points or higher. Let me look at Tyler here, because Tyler went off He had back-to-back 30-plus games, 30 points per game. Need 24. They're allowing 28 to the position in the last 5. So he does love playing on a Wednesday, but he had back-to-back Wednesdays where he went under 20. 1-0 against Boston, but that was last year. He scored 25. What is he doing just at home? Okay. At home on a Wednesday. But this is last year's numbers. That sucks. But he's 1-0 on the season. 29 against Milwaukee. Man, I really wish this was this year, not last year. But it's just proving that he loves scoring on a Wednesday at home, averaging 27. So if you just take it off of face value of the day and at him at home, he still has the potential to go out here and get buckets tonight. And for the most part, he's getting above 24. He's getting pretty much around 20. I mean, technically it is 27.3, but when you're really looking at it, he's literally 29 or higher. So he potentially could do the, and that's the funnier part. This is his first Wednesday at home for the year. So he potentially could still do what he normally does on a Wednesday at home. I'm gonna queue up the point, at least the points. I'll potentially take him for the 24 tonight, even if it's just the 24. But again, y'all know me, I love taking the plus value. Now Bam, I think Bam had a double-double last game, if I remember correctly. Yep, 4 straight double-doubles. So we missed out on some plus value roughly 5 games ago. He is 1-2 on the season against them. He did get this one at Boston. Let's look at what he did against Boston as far as his rebounds are concerned. He had, so what is he really, let me see. So 1-2, 4-7. So he's actually grabbing more rebounds at Boston than he is at home. Fascinating. At least for the year. Fascinating. But they're allowing 11 to the position, so he still potentially has a chance to. He had three straight 10 or higher. That's what I'm saying. He's going out grabbing these rebounds. Okay. He's averaging 10 on Wednesdays alone, 9 on the season. Back-to-back Wednesdays at home. 2-1 on a Wednesday on the year. Averaging 10 on the nose. So maybe you do take him for maybe just maybe PR? Maybe? What about his points? What's his points? 21? Three and 2, averaging 22 points in the last 5, just in general, just scoring. Yeah, a lot of these bigs, they're not scorers like your boy. Yeah, a lot of them aren't. So the face value of the points doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. I didn't even notice that they were only allowing 12 to the position. So he yeah, kind of feel like Bam could still go out there and get 20 and 10. Like maybe it may be a bit of a trudge to get there, but I feel like he can get there though. Excuse me. I'm getting kind of tired. Didn't Trey Jones? Yes, he did. Because I talked about Trey. What I didn't do, if I remember correctly, I didn't take Trey on a straight bet for his points or his PRA or anything, but he did get the job done. His PRA is currently 28. His points wise is what, 16? He had 23 here against San Antonio. Look at that. He went out there and got the buckets. They're allowing 28, 29 to the position, 27 to the position. You only need 16. He's 1-0 against them. He had 17 on the 29th of November. What's he doing on a Wednesday? No, he's down on a Wednesday. Super down. Like 1-9. That's ugly. But he was literally a free throw off here against Philly on the 25th. So gives you a little bit of hope. At home. Fascinating. So that he's down on a Wednesday too at home. 2-8. Ugh. Tyler 31. Austin Reeves 25. Bane 17. Harper 24. Sheesh, Devin had 43. Balled out, son. 21 from Drew. So, yeah, potential for him to get the points. Has he had 4? One time. Let's see, 22, 18, 21, 17. I'm going to queue up the points. I actually like his points the best. Really, really do. I like his points the best. He's actually looked like the best spot on the slate. Maybe you consider if he's playing. I don't know if he's playing Miller for the Bulls. I don't know if he's playing because he potentially could go out here and get some buckets tonight. So we'll see. How many do I wasn't paying attention? 9. Okay. Just in general, off of what I have here, technically like everybody on the list, but if I had to break down just say 3 players I would look at. Probably more than likely like Hero. Maybe take Carter for his boards. Again, I just talked about Trey Jones. Probably Trent Jones. I'm just kind of curious about Suggs' assist. Kevin Durant, KD could still potentially go out there and get that 35. Just kind of curious if he will do it tonight. Let me look at this game real quick. I'm pretty much gonna call it. Kind of getting like, because y'all can probably hear it in my voice, like sound kind of like tired, because I am. I'm just like ready for my day off on Friday. So got one more day at work, and then I'm free for a day. Let me see. Did they open up lines for Gary Trent? Because like I said, he randomly balled out 2 days ago. But he went back down to normalcy against Dallas. Does he go out here and get buckets tonight? He's 0-3 against them. That's fascinating. They're giving him 17. and he's usually not even doing that much. That is so wild that they're giving him 17, and they're only allowing 19 to the position in the last 5. So I really don't understand what they're seeing. Again, could potentially go out there and get this 17 points. Maybe they feel like they can get 4 threes tonight type of stuff. Maybe he does. Maybe. I don't really see it though. It's the NBA, y'all. He actually might go out there and get the 17 points. Maybe 20 points. What is 20 plus 195? He might. Who knows? Sengun, potential. He did go down though. He went up. He got this 36. So potential for him. They're allowing almost 20 to the position. You need 19. 2 and 1, but 1-0 on the year. He had 23 here against them on the 9th. He's at home though. 3 and 5 the last 5, averaging 22. But once again, because he's in the spot at home, he's getting 25 or higher when he actually gets the points. So maybe he does get this plus 348 tonight for the points against Milwaukee. But potential blowout though, because Milwaukee was getting blown out at home. They won big last game, so you kind of figure they're playing against Houston. Houston's probably going to blow them out tonight. So if anything, I would probably just take Sengun just for the points on some base stuff, and then maybe bump him up 1 or 2 extra, maybe to 22, maybe 21 type of stuff at plus value. Because again, he could still technically go out here and still get, the 25 tonight. Because Giannis is still out, right? He's still not playing. So I would at least take him for the 19. I'm going to queue him up here. Because again, this is what he's doing on a Wednesday at home, just in general. On the year, he's averaging 21 on a Wednesday. And then Wednesdays at home, averaging 19 on the nose, 21 on the season though, because again, this was between this year and last year. But on the year, 21 back to back with 25 or higher on a Wednesday at home. If you want to, hey, I'm seeing a bit. I didn't even notice that. Look at the rebounds. They're allowing 15 to the position. So maybe you take him for this here. This is what he's doing on a Wednesday at home. 4 of those games, he had 10 or higher. Just in general, 11, 10 on the Wednesday at home. 5 and 5 on the year. 9 in the last 10 home games. 3 and 2. When he does grab the boards, he's getting 9 or higher. So if you don't like his points, take him for the boards. I feel like that's the second best spot to look, because I don't know if he's going to do this here. But again, remember, potential blowout. Possible, at least. I'm actually liking his rebounds a bit more. So the only thing is that I feel more comfortable taking Sengun's points, simply because when he gets the points, he's hitting low 20s just in general. More specifically, like on the day, or even like mid 20s. I apologize. So that's what I'm saying. You have more of a potential to possibly for him to get the 25 tonight, but you got to figure potential blowout. What's his double-double, just in case he were to get a double-double? They're even giving him plus value for plus 135. Maybe you take him for the double-double, too. He just doesn't have any head-to-head against them. Seven and 6, just above 500, getting a double-double. So maybe he does. If you're a believer in trends, like I always say, he didn't get it here, he got it here, didn't get it, got it here, didn't get it on the 25th against Minnesota. So he's on a Wednesday now, potential spot on a Wednesday to get it tonight. So you have a plethora of spots for Sengun to do a plethora of stuff tonight. Got him for points, got him for rebounds. Still potential for them to get the PRA and potential for him to get a double-double. So whichever one sounds good to you, take it. I just personally like his points a bit more than his rebounds. The rebounds just sound like it could be something where he just gets the 9 rebounds, or he goes 10 or higher. So, but I might take it for the points this time, because like I said, I forgot to take it the last time and I missed it. And honestly, guys, I really kind of feel like we're good at what we got here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this stuff, try to find like 3 picks and share them in the slip. We got Durant for 35, Suggs for assists, White for points, Sengun for points in his rebounds, potential double-double, Riley for points, Bonchero potential for 38 if he just lands on 38, PRA. Hero, really like his points tonight. Like I mentioned, Sengun, points and rebounds, I really like those separate, a little bit together. Walker, potential bounce back for him to score even like 20 plus points tonight. Carter, probably potentially more than likely going to take him on a straight bet for 8 rebounds. And then Jones, I do like him for 16 points, potential for him to bump him up to potentially getting 20. And then I'll more than likely parlay my 3 favorite. Kind of feel like it's going to be like Hero, Jones, and Carter, but it could be something else. Could be Sengun instead of somebody else. We'll see. But other than that, thanks for coming through. Thanks for hanging. Appreciate it. Tomorrow, how many games are tomorrow? Now, I will say for baseball, it's a low spot for baseball tomorrow. There's only 4 baseball games tomorrow. Potential to still find something, but not much. So you might as well wait as far as like Friday and the weekend for baseball, unless you can find some players to hit a home run off of like a straight bet. I probably wouldn't encourage a parlay because again, it's only 4 games tomorrow. But the NBA has 6 games tomorrow. Still potentially to find some stuff. My Thunder are playing against the Lakers, so I like that already. Already feeling like we could beat them tomorrow because they just came off that big win against Cleveland at home last night. I got a buddy of mine at my job who's a Laker fan, so I'm always teasing him about his squad. I'm just like, dog, like LeBron needs to retire. And I'm gonna just say this. I may sound like I'm a hater, and that's okay, but I'm just being honest. LeBron's not the GOAT. He never has been, never will be. And I'm a LeBron fan. He's in my top 5. He's just not number 1. Technically not number 4 either. But I will say this. The GOAT does not get swept in the finals. That's one of the main reasons why LeBron is not the GOAT. Just saying. Because you play in the NBA to win a championship. You're not just there just to exist. You want to get to the big leagues, to get to the finals and win. And LeBron lost more than he won. So another reason why he's not the GOAT. But anyway, I'm out. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay humble. Take care of yourselves, your family, friends, and loved ones. And hopefully I will talk to you all tomorrow with another stream. I'll holler at you later, guys. Peace.